This 18-year-old girl walked onto America's Got Talent wearing the same clothes she had slept in for 3 nights. She had been living in her car with her disabled grandmother, singing on street corners just to buy food. When she told the judges her story, Simon Cowell's face went completely white. But when she opened her mouth to sing, something magical happened that nobody in that auditorium will ever forget. The audience went from dead silence to the loudest standing ovation in the show's history. This performance didn't just go viral, it changed everything. This is the story of Sophia Martinez. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why her audition broke the internet and made grown men weep. Sophia Martinez grew up in the suburbs of Denver, Colorado. For the first 16 years of her life, everything was normal. Her father, Michael Martinez, worked as an electrician. Her mother, Rebecca, was a nurse at Denver General Hospital. They live in a small but comfortable 3-bedroom house with Sophia's grandmother, Elena Martinez, who had raised Michael after his parents died in a car accident when he was 12. Elena Martinez was 72 years old and had been Sophia's best friend since birth. She had taught Sophia to sing traditional Mexican folk songs in Spanish, passed down through 4 generations of the Martinez family. Every evening, Elena would sit on the front porch while Sophia practiced, offering gentle corrections and endless encouragement. In March 2023, everything changed in a single week. Michael Martinez was electrocuted in a workplace accident and died instantly. Rebecca Martinez, devastated by the loss of her husband, started drinking heavily and disappeared for days at a time. Within 6 months, the family lost their house to foreclosure. Elena Martinez, who had diabetes and required daily insulin shots, found herself responsible for 18-year-old Sophia with nowhere to go. Rebecca had drained their savings account and vanished completely, leaving behind only debt and heartbreak. Sophia and Elena moved into Sophia's 2005 Honda Civic, a car that barely ran and had no air conditioning. They parked in different locations around Denver each night, trying to avoid police and stay safe. Elena slept in the back seat, while Sophia slept in the front, always alert for danger. Elena's medical condition required her to keep insulin refrigerated, but living in a car made this impossible. Sophia would spend her days going to different pharmacies, begging for sample doses of insulin and checking community centers for free medical clinics. To earn money for food and Elena's medication, Sophia would sing on street corners in downtown Denver. She would set up outside the 16th Street Mall, Union Station, and Larimer Square, singing covers of popular songs with just her voice and a small cardboard sign that read, "Saving for Grandma's Medicine." Sophia's voice was extraordinary, but most people walked past without stopping. On good days, she would earn $30 or $40. On bad days, security guards would move her along before she could earn enough for Elena's insulin. The winter of 2023 was brutal. Denver temperatures dropped below 0 for weeks. Sophia and Elena would run the car's heater until the gas tank was nearly empty, then turn it off and huddle together under donated blankets from a local shelter. Elena's health was deteriorating rapidly. The stress of homelessness, combined with inconsistent access to medication and proper food, was taking a severe toll. Some mornings, she was too weak to get out of the car. Sophia would leave Elena in the car and walk to nearby restaurants, asking for leftover food or any work they might have available. Most places turned her away, but a few kind managers would give her day-old bread or soup that was about to be thrown out. At 18 years old, Sophia was responsible for keeping herself and her grandmother alive on the streets of Denver with no family support, no permanent address, and no safety net. One morning in January 2024, while Elena was sleeping in the back seat, Sophia was singing outside a Starbucks to earn money for breakfast. A woman named Jennifer Thompson stopped to listen and was amazed by Sophia's voice. Jennifer Thompson was a vocal coach who had trained several successful recording artists. She had never heard raw talent like Sophia's performing on the street. Jennifer sat on a nearby bench and listened to Sophia sing for over an hour. When Sophia finished her set, Jennifer approached and introduced herself. She learned about Sophia's situation and was heartbroken that someone with such incredible talent was struggling to survive. Jennifer offered to give Sophia free voice lessons if she could find a way to get to her studio. Sophia explained that she had no transportation money and couldn't leave Elena alone for long periods. Jennifer made an offer that changed everything. She said, "Sophia, your voice is a gift that the world needs to hear. I want to help you, and I think I know how." Jennifer had heard that America's Got Talent was holding auditions in Denver in February. She printed out the application and gave it to Sophia, along with $50 for gas and food. Sophia looked at the application and immediately shook her head. She said, "I can't leave my grandmother for a whole day. She needs me, and I can't risk losing the money I earn singing on the streets." Jennifer understood Sophia's concerns, but encouraged her to think about the bigger picture. She said, "Sophia, if you make it on this show, you could earn enough money to get your grandmother proper medical care and a real home." That night, Sophia talked to Elena about the audition. Elena, despite her weakening condition, was adamant that Sophia should try. Elena said, "Mija, I have lived my life. This is your chance to live yours." Elena insisted that she would be fine alone in the car for one day. She made Sophia promise to go to the audition, saying, "Your voice is not just yours. It carries the songs of our ancestors. You have a responsibility to share it." Sophia spent 2 weeks preparing for the audition. She chose to sing Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel, a song that Elena had sung to her during the hardest nights in the car. Jennifer met with Sophia 3 times in parking lots to work on breath control and stage presence. She also helped Sophia pick out clean clothes from a donation center and gave her advice on how to tell her story to the judges. The night before the audition, Elena was having a particularly difficult day. Her blood sugar had been unstable, and she was weak and disoriented. Sophia almost canceled, but Elena insisted, "I did not survive 72 years, so you could give up on your dreams." February 18th, 2024 was audition day. Sophia drove to the Denver Coliseum in her Honda Civic, leaving Elena in the car with extra blankets, water, and the last of their food. The audition venue was overwhelming. Thousands of people with professional stylists, expensive outfits, and elaborate props. Sophia wore jeans and a borrowed sweater, carrying nothing but her courage and her grandmother's blessing. Sophia was contestant number 2156. The wait would be at least 6 hours. She had told Elena she would be back by evening, but she was starting to worry about leaving her grandmother alone for so long. During the wait, Sophia called Elena every hour to check on her. Elena's voice was getting weaker, but she kept encouraging Sophia to stay and wait for her chance. Other contestants noticed Sophia's frequent phone calls and simple clothes. A few made comments about her appearance, not knowing her story, but several contestants also offered her food and water when they realized she hadn't eaten all day. A contestant named Marcus Johnson, a 25-year-old singer from Los Angeles, struck up a conversation with Sophia. When she briefly mentioned her situation, Marcus was stunned. He immediately bought her lunch and told other contestants about her story. Word spread quickly through the waiting area. Soon, dozens of contestants were offering Sophia support, encouragement, and shared resources. The competitive atmosphere transformed into a community, rallying around someone who needed help. At 4:30 p.m., Sophia received a call from Elena that terrified her. Elena was confused and barely coherent, clearly experiencing a medical crisis. Sophia was about to leave the audition to get to her grandmother when Marcus and several other contestants intervened. Marcus said, "Sophia, we've all heard your story. If you leave now, you're giving up on the chance to change both your lives. Let us help." Marcus organized a group of contestants to contribute money for an ambulance to check on Elena. The ambulance found Elena in the car and determined that she needed immediate medical attention. Elena was taken to Denver General Hospital, where she was stabilized and given proper medication. Hospital staff called Sophia and assured her that Elena was safe and receiving excellent care. Elena's message to Sophia was clear: "Sing for both of us tonight." At 7:15 p.m., Sophia Martinez walked onto the America's Got Talent stage. She looked exhausted and overwhelmed, but there was a determination in her eyes that the judges immediately noticed. Terry Crews asked, "What's your name and where are you from?" Sophia replied, "My name is Sophia Martinez. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Denver, Colorado." Simon Cowell asked, "What do you do for work, Sophia?" Sophia paused for a moment, then answered honestly, I sing on street corners to earn money for food and my grandmother's diabetes medication. We've been living in my car since we lost our house. The auditorium fell completely silent. The judges' expressions changed immediately from professional interest to genuine concern and sympathy. Howie Mandel asked gently, Sophia, where's your grandmother now? Sophia's voice cracked slightly as she said, She's in the hospital right now. She told me to sing for both of us tonight. Sophia Vergara, visibly moved, asked, What are you going to sing for us? Sophia replied, I'm going to sing Bridge Over Troubled Water. It's the song my grandmother sings to me when things get really hard. Heidi Klum said, Sophia, we can see this is difficult for you. Take your time and sing when you're ready. Sophia closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and began to sing. The first note that came from Sophia's mouth caused an immediate reaction throughout the theater. Her voice was pure, powerful, and filled with a pain and hope that seemed to reach into everyone's soul. As she sang the opening verse, When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. Her voice carried the weight of every struggle she had endured. The judges were transfixed. Simon Cowell leaned forward in his chair, his usual critical expression replaced by genuine amazement. Howie Mandel had tears in his eyes. Sophia Vergara was openly crying. Heidi Klum was completely still, absorbed in performance. When Sophia reached the chorus, Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, her voice soared to heights that seemed impossible for someone who had never had professional training. The audience was completely silent, hanging on every note. In the balcony, people were wiping their eyes. Even the camera operators were visibly emotional as Sophia sang the final verse. Her voice broke slightly with emotion, but she continued with even more power and conviction. The last note hung in the air for several seconds after she finished. The silence that followed was the longest in the show's history. For nearly 15 seconds, no one in the auditorium moved or spoke. Simon Cowell was the first to speak, and his voice was noticeably different from his usual tone. Sophia, I need you to know that what just happened on this stage was extraordinary. In all my years of judging, I have never heard anything like that. He continued, his voice breaking slightly. Your voice carries a depth of emotion and experience that cannot be taught. You have taken one of the most beautiful songs ever written and made it completely your own. Howie Mandel stood up from his chair, something he rarely does during auditions. Sophia, you have just delivered one of the most powerful performances I have ever witnessed. Your voice is incredible, but more than that, your courage is inspiring. Sophia Vergara was crying openly as she spoke. Sophia, as someone who understands struggle and family sacrifice, I want you to know that your story and your talent have touched my heart in a way I will never forget. Heidi Klum added, Sophia, you walked onto the stage carrying the weight of the world, and you transformed it into something beautiful. That is what true artistry looks like. But it was Simon's next comment that made headlines around the world. Sophia, I want you to understand something very important. You are not just a talented singer. You are a survivor, a caregiver, and an inspiration. What you've just done is remind all of us what really matters in life. Simon stood up, walked in front of the judges' table, and said, Sophia, your grandmother raised an extraordinary young woman, and I think it's time for your troubles to become a bridge to a better future. Simon slammed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti exploded throughout the theater as the audience erupted in the loudest, most emotional standing ovation in America's Got Talent history. Sophia collapsed to her knees on stage, overwhelmed by relief, joy, and disbelief. Terry Crews rushed onto the stage to embrace Sophia as she sobbed uncontrollably. The other judges joined them, offering congratulations and support. Simon told Sophia, You're going straight to live shows, but more importantly, your life is about to change in ways you can't imagine. Sophia Vergara held Sophia's hands and said, Your grandmother is going to be so proud. You didn't just sing tonight. You gave hope to everyone who heard you. The performance was filmed on February 18th, 2024, but wouldn't air until April 30th, 2024. However, news of Sophia's golden buzzer spread quickly among audience members and production staff. Within hours of the audition, Someone had posted a brief description of Sophia's performance on social media. The post read, "A homeless girl just got the golden buzzer after singing for her sick grandmother. I've never seen anything like it." The post was shared thousands of times before the show's producers could contain the story. By February 20th, hashtag homeless girl and hashtag Sophia Martinez were trending on Twitter. When America's Got Talent released Sophia's full audition video on May 1st, 2024, it broke every viewership record in the show's history. The video, titled "Homeless Girl Gets Golden Buzzer After Heartbreaking Performance," gained 15 million views in its first 24 hours. Within 1 week, the video had 75 million views and was being shared across every social media platform in dozens of languages. International news outlets picked up the story, making Sophia a global sensation overnight. The viral success of Sophia's audition created immediate opportunities for both her and Elena. Within 48 hours of the video's release, a GoFundMe campaign raised over $500,000 for their housing and medical expenses. A Denver businessman named Robert Mitchell offered Sophia and Elena a fully furnished apartment rent-free for 2 years. A local hospital system provided Elena with comprehensive medical care and all necessary medications at no cost. Record labels, talent agencies, and music producers from around the world contacted Sophia within days. She received offers for recording contracts, concert tours, and television appearances worth millions of dollars. Most importantly, Elena received the medical care she desperately needed. Her condition stabilized, and with proper medication and nutrition, her health improved dramatically. Jennifer Thompson, the vocal coach who first discovered Sophia, was offered a position as a talent scout for a major record label. She continues to work with Sophia as her mentor and coach. Sophia's journey on America's Got Talent continued through the live shows. For her quarterfinal performance, she sang an original song she wrote called "Car Windows," about the night she and Elena spent watching the world through the windshield of their Honda Civic. The song's chorus included the lyrics, "Through car windows we dreamed of better days. Through car windows we never lost our faith. Every sunrise through that glass was a promise that our story wasn't over. It was just getting started." Sophia advanced through every round of the competition, ultimately winning the entire season of America's Got Talent. Her victory was celebrated by millions of fans around the world who had followed her journey from homelessness to stardom. Today, Sophia Martinez is a successful recording artist with a multi-million-dollar record deal. Her debut album, Through Car Windows, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart and has sold over 2 million copies worldwide. Elena Martinez lives in a beautiful, accessible home with round-the-clock medical care. She attends every one of Sophia's concerts, often joining her granddaughter on stage for special performances of traditional Mexican songs. Sophia has used her platform to raise awareness about homelessness and elderly care. She established the Elena Martinez Foundation, which provides medical care and housing assistance to homeless families with elderly members. The Honda Civic that Sophia and Elena lived has been preserved and is displayed at the Country Music Hall of Fame as a symbol of perseverance and the American dream. Jennifer Thompson remains Sophia's vocal coach and closest advisor. She often says, "I didn't discover Sophia's talent. I just helped her share it with the world. Her courage and determination did everything else." Sophia frequently returns to the street corners where she used to sing, now as an established artist performing free concerts for the homeless community. She tells her audiences, "I never forgot where I came from, and I never will." Elena Martinez, now healthy and happy, loves to tell reporters, "I always knew my granddaughter had a special gift. I just had to make sure she believed in herself enough to share it." The video of Sophia Martinez's Golden Buzzer audition remains the most watched America's Got Talent performance in the show's history, with over 200 million views across all platforms. It continues to inspire millions of people worldwide who face their own struggles. Sophia's message is simple but powerful. No matter how dark things get, keep singing. Your voice matters, your story matters, and your dreams are worth fighting for. Sometimes a bridge over troubled water is the courage to keep going one more day. The story of Sophia Martinez proves that extraordinary talent can emerge in the most difficult circumstances and that the human spirit's capacity for hope and perseverance can overcome any obstacle. Her journey from singing on street corners to international stardom continues to inspire people around the world to never give up on their dreams.